What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Mini Continents AI Only Battle. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We looked at the Info Addicts last episode. Things looking really interesting, particularly with the Sioux looking like they're actually really far in the lead, but they're not really acting like it, but apparently they're really far in the lead. But everyone else, it seemed very, very close. Obviously, there's a few bad civs, but the rest of it wasn't particularly obvious, like was there a top 3 or whatever. There was just maybe 10 to 15 other civs that are all doing quite well, all sort of interchanged. I'm sure there are some that are better than others, but for the most part there was a lot of civs appearing in very different positions, which is quite exciting. We'll see if anyone can join the Sioux in that sort of more advanced position going forward. But then we go, Brazil and the Inca will end their hostilities for now. The eastern and western, essentially, parts of South America. Spain joining the wars against Byzantium. We know the Huns are already in there. They already grabbed one city, and maybe Constantinople will fall, potentially. Getting a little low, we'll see. The Huns could probably do it, to be honest. And they don't have to do it once, and then Byzantium would just be dead. It's not a case of where it's going to just keep going back and forth either, because it's their last city. So that could be over very quickly. Mercuria and Rhodesia. Interesting little maybe alliance forming there with a research agreement. See what they get up to. I was surprised by Rhodesia. I thought they'd have been doing a bit better. But they are stuck behind Burundi. They're going to have to find a way through. It's going to be very difficult. But that is the point. Because normally, one of them or the Zulu just does really well all the time. So yeah, this time we'll see. They now have Gatling guns. I think they're the second civ we've seen with those. Although they weren't the ones we were expecting. Or maybe they are the first and I've just seen them twice now. But I thought somebody else had them. Whoever that might have been. Aztecs still grabbing more of the Caribbean. There's a couple of islands left and they've still got the next settler heading out. So we'll see what they grab. That's a pretty good move for them. Still nothing between the North Americans. I thought the US might have, or the Sioux, or the Shoshone. I mean, they are still going after California. It's just really not working out for them at all at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. Didn't something happen? I think I'm getting confused. I thought something was going on with Babylon, but clearly that's not the case. So never mind. Just forget about that. That never happened. Britain is still okay. France, what is this tile? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Spain and Britain are still going at it, but so far it looks like Spain is going to be fine to hold on to this stuff. But we'll see. There's a few British units, maybe. And obviously British Denmark here. They managed to hold on to it for now. Not sure how long that will last though. Sure, France or Germany will get it one day. Rome is still struggling a little bit against Germany, so I won't expect too much there. Mongolia did completely screw it up against China, who remain here. And Korea is obviously very close every time. This time we've finally seen them before it happens. But yeah, Korea doing a lot of damage to Japan, but every time I look, there's nothing going on. Then I look back and the city's already fallen. But here we should see Tokyo fall to Korea. And that is a pretty big win for Korea. They also took a big city off Siam in a peace deal last episode, or the episode before as well. So yeah, Korea may be another contender that can catch the Sioux. Especially with the Sioux, I mean, obviously they're doing good, but they're not expanding at the moment. They're just sort of happy with what they've got. They have added another city within their territory. But yeah, for the most part, they haven't really looked like they're trying to attack anybody. But maybe they'll come under some pressure, especially with Korea, like I said, getting stronger, grabbing Tokyo here. Probably, I assume, going to completely eliminate Japan. So yeah, Korea will be looking pretty good in East Asia. So we'll see what happens. And it's not looking great for the Shoshone, is it? They are sandwiched in between. They'll have Korea to their west across the water and the Sioux to the east. That is not a position you want to be in. And there we go, Tokyo has fallen to Korea. So they're looking pretty solid right now. Pretty good. Who else is doing stuff? What else is going on? There's not too many sieges going on at the moment. A little bit of a quiet spell on that front. The Huns have squeezed a settler up into Scandinavia, but it can't really get too far. And here we go. Here it is. So the Sioux versus America, it begins. Now, I think the Sioux have a military advantage, but their units are behind. Like, they still have swordsmen and things. They do have a couple of their unique units. The Strong Hearts, but yeah, archers versus crossbowmen, musket men versus swordsmen. This is going to be difficult. Also, their turn is taking a very long time, so I'm a little concerned right now. Please don't crash. There we go. It's fine. But yeah, oh, they did a lot of damage though. So we'll see how the US fights back. Of course, I think they go first, so we'll see next turn. But yeah, the US, we'll see what they get up to. Australia, they have left Australia now. They are in New Zealand and this little island here. So they are making some progress. Korea will not be conquering Japan completely just yet. They peace out, leaving Japan with one city for now. We'll see how long Japan can survive for. The Sioux have just like started making my PC really start to whir. So that's good. That's great. You can really hear that. Here we go. America going first. Let's see how their response is. Looks pretty good. Do some damage. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one for the Sioux still. The Great Wall is there. It's certainly not going to be easy. This is going to be quite a big battle. But yeah, the Sioux eventually should come out probably on top. But we'll see. Like I said, America does have not a tech advantage. But the units they do have are, you know, more technologically up to date. So it's hard to tell really who's going to come out on top. But I'm hoping for the US because I did pick them. But, you know, it's not that normally means they're doomed. So, who knows. The Sioux also with a settler heading towards the Caribbean. Not sure there'll be much space left, especially if the Aztecs was to settle like here. That would be a good tile just to block off the Sioux completely. And of course the Aztecs will be getting stronger. A lot of these cities starting to get bigger. Plus all these new resources. Yeah, they're going to start to emerge, I think, as pretty powerful and able to challenge the Sioux. And you'd imagine the Inca and Brazil would be in a similar area too, because by size, they're actually pretty similar size to the Sioux. But we'll see. Brazil's turn now. What's this? The Sioux with another wonder, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Between them and America, they have more wonders than the rest of the world combined. So it will be pretty scary on that front if they do start to conquer the US. As you can see, Atlanta facing a bit of trouble there in the south into the yellow. Boston, the defense got a little bit better there. But yeah, Atlanta in particular struggling. But the US, they have a few boats around. There's a good chance they can still protect that city. We'll see. Ooh. Car alarm outside. Right. Aztecs, this settler's not there. It's a bit of a race. There's 3 settlers. If the Aztecs can put like one on this island or these 2 islands and one on this one, that would prevent the Sioux really getting anywhere. There's not really any space left in the Americas. You could maybe squeeze one in here if you really wanted to. I guess you could maybe put one here. No, probably not. I don't really know where else you could go. The Sioux might be able to settle on this corner. I think the limit is it's not 4 tiles anymore. I think it's 2 on this map. As you can see, here is technically like 2 tiles, right? 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, however you, depending on how you get to it. You can't settle within 2 tiles, but I think a third is as opposed to 4, which is not. Yeah, these cities were within 2 sort of as well. So I think the limit is reduced a little bit. You can settle a little closer, so that does help. But that's still pushing it on that sort of size. Carthage grabbing a lot of these islands, which it looked like on the map they'd settled, but no, these are just their borders covering this. They should share Sardinia here with Rome. The Shoshone's borders are slowly growing into this empty tundra. Of course, they can't use the resources. They might eventually, if they're still alive and they completely fill all their borders with units, then they might start spawning some over there, which we can't really do much about, but should be okay. The Sioux and the US grabbing a few as well. Carthage versus Benin. Benin was in a lot of trouble, but they seem to be defending pretty well against the Songhai. Mali's left them alone. And the Congo not having the best time of it at the moment. I don't know what Ethiopia's up to. I think they are going after Burundi just very awkwardly, and it's not going their way. But we'll see. Maybe they can get something done at some point. Or Australia. You're gonna... Australia, ooh, where's all this trade? Okay, all this trade's going to Africa. That's quite interesting. That's kind of a shot in the dark from them. I don't know if they've actually explored this. Yeah, they must have done to be able to trade to it. Yeah, they must have explored that. And they do actually have frigates, which I think is a first. So another civ. We're seeing all sorts of different civs being the first to get certain types of units. I think those are the first frigates. Korea does have some as well. Just the one there, but yeah, we haven't seen many of those. I don't know if anyone else has any. Mongolia is making some progress towards the city of Gwangju here. A little bit encouraging, at least, for Mongolia, who is still a good sized civ, but yeah, they're not quite on Korea's level, I don't think. At the moment, anyway. Is Mali still going after Morocco? Yes, and this is not working for them at all. Okay, fair enough, at least we know. Right, the Aztecs, did they? No, their settlers are still on the way. They've still, I guess, got a lead. They've actually got another one up. And the Inca have got one too. So yeah, there's a real race for these final spots of land. Spain is somewhere you could still probably squeeze in another city, like on this corner. I mean, I don't know if the Sioux would be willing. They could, in theory, come over here and do it. I don't know if they would. We'll see. America holding off so far, but they are starting to look a little bit thin on units. This was their issue, low on numbers. But they've made a bit of an attack on this city in Florida, and they're also making some efforts to gain this city here, up in, is that Nova Scotia? I don't know, this map's a bit weird shaped, I can never tell. But yeah, we'll see. Just a little bit weirdly shaped. Spain is almost like this. Yeah, Europe is massive, of course, on this map. But it does make it more interesting, because there's more civs in Europe, so it is awkward to do the regular size map, and then there's less civs to fill the rest of the areas. Egypt has peaced out with Carthage. Of course, not much going on. This giant river separating them for now. Carthage look pretty strong, to be fair. A lot of their unique boats, but I think they're a bit old, so I'm not going to give them too much credit for that. And Thebes is in there for the race for biggest city in the world, with Hunkpapa here, 26 and 25. Oh, okay, these cannons making a difference. LA now in the red. Maybe the Shoshone will finally cross the river. Let's actually have a look. Where is... It's in the spy menu. We can have a look at the biggest cities in the world. 26 for Seoul and Thebes. 25 then for Hunkpapa of the Sioux. Delhi is the next biggest at 22. Then it's Moscow. Then it's Salisbury from Rhodesia. St. Petersburg is Russia, the first civ with 2 cities on that list, both pretty close. Shoshone capital, Mosinkhani, and Babylon both have 19. Sokote have 18. Yep, Berlin's at 18. The Shoshone with a second city at 18 on the list. Egypt with a second at 17. Paris, Bujumbura of Burundi, Memphis of Egypt, Rio, Yankton of the Sioux, Mabanza Congo, and Attila's Court, all at 17. So those are some of the biggest in the world. But yeah, quite a big lead for the 3 biggest cities in the world. One located right here, right in the center almost of North America. Another one right here in almost the center of Eurasia. Not quite, probably the center's like around here somewhere. Europe, Asia, and Africa, I guess. The center's more around like here. Obviously, if you tilted it and everything. And then Korea right out in the east. So you've got like a western big city, a big eastern city, and a big central city, which is pretty cool. The 3 like hubs of the world with the largest populations. Did the Huns just settle right there? Yep, they did. Okay. I mean, Germany was in the way, so fair enough. But I don't know if you needed that. Alright, Korea versus China. Shanghai should fall pretty quickly. Hopefully Mongolia at least gets Guangzhou, and maybe they steal Shanghai too if they're lucky. So at least give them a bit of a chance. That would also... I mean, China's borders are pretty... This is a pretty large area of land. It would make Mongolia look a lot better on the mini-map if they were to have that as well. Not that they will likely get that, but there we go. Atlanta is so low. I think they will lose Atlanta, but I think the rest of the US will be okay, at least for the time being. I'm not sure. It's going to take a lot to protect this city. They have to kill 2 units, essentially. Maybe this one as well. Maybe this one as well. Like, the land is too much. I think this city is going to fall now. But yeah, I mean, it's at least you've slowed them down. Like, you didn't. It wasn't just a complete walkover. And yeah, the US should be okay to look after themselves. Right, how is this race going? It feels like they're getting slower and slower. The Sioux is here. The Aztec settler disappeared, or the second one oh no, it's still here. I don't know where that one's going. This one is sort of wandering around aimlessly. I think it could maybe squeeze in here if they wanted to. But this one's probably going to settle, and yeah, the Sioux is still on their way around. The Inca will probably... They have 2 as well. There are so many. We might just see some random parts of the map getting settled at some point. Still no real push from Australia into the Indonesian islands. They have sort of got an idea of it being here with the cargo ship, and I assume they've explored it. Siam as well. Like, they know this is here, and they're just, unless maybe the scouts like completely missed it, they're just leaving it for now. But it does take time to build a settler. Maybe there's still hope. Maybe it's coming. But that will be it for this episode. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.